welcome to episode 3 of In the Pines. This is where I talk about my knitting and crocheting, and whatever other things I decide to dabble in. Knitting I do not dabble in. I'm a full-blown knitter. So I never claim to be an expert or anything else, but I just enjoy the process. And so today I have some FOs, I have some whips, and I also have some rips. So let's get started because I'm trying to keep this under a certain timeline that you don't get so bored. But first of all, I wanted to show, this is an old project. This is called Cranberry Rose Hat. It was designed by Sheila Joynes, and she, well, I most know her from her affiliation with A Good Yarn, which was Debbie Maycomer's yarn shop in, where was that? It's in Washington. I want to say Port Orchard. Which is no longer open, but they had collaborated with Cascade Yarns and hosted a knitting cruise, of all things, of course, to Alaska, and that was most fun. I got to meet Debbie Maycomer and some of the designers, and it was so much fun. I bought this kit there, and I had so much fun knitting this. I had not done so much color work, but I loved doing this hat. It's like, and as Sheila says, and I think I'm like, it's like knitting or painting with yarn. It's like painting with yarn. And since it was in a kit, because I have a hard time picking out colors, so the kit was easy for me. I was anxiety free. So, which also was, the pattern was in this book. I know this is probably backwards. I can't believe I'm Fair Isle Knitting, but it features the Cranberry Rose hat. It has other patterns in here too. So, but, you know, there might be a cowl in here I want to knit, but other than that, this Cranberry, there's some patterns on Ravelry. She might sell this separately on Ravelry. I haven't really looked, but it's my favorite hat when I go somewhere. It's kind of slouchy in the back, or it's big enough you can pull down over your ears. And I don't look good with hats because of my bangs. But it's a beautiful hat, and I like to wear it when we go somewhere because then my husband can usually pick me out if I get lost. So I wanted to make sure I showed this one. I want to make another one too. So I have one in my, I think, is it in my queue? But it's like more of a rose. Oh, they call this Cranberry Rose. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a flower pattern that almost looks like a daisy. Yeah, now I gotta fix my hair. My already messy hair. And then this is my Timeline Tee. It's a free pattern, and it's by Andrea Yetman. And I love the free patterns. I do. I really do. I spend so much on patterns and yarn. It's nice when you kind of find something that is free. But I was, my niece had knit one of these, and so I had to too. We love to enable each other, actually. So that's what we did there. So thanks, Holly. Let's see, is there anything else old I wanted to share? I don't think so. Okay, so next up, he's my frog. He's my frog. I got him, I probably had him finished last time, but I think I was just working on his pants. But I got his little sweater done. His sweater doesn't look very even. I don't know. It kind of needs buttons. I put my little tag on it. His eyes aren't the way the pattern called for if you look at Frog and Toad. In fact, I had it pulled up here so I could show you a picture of Frog and Toad. If I can, oops, that made him too big. There we go. There's Frog and Toad. And you can see their eyes are way different. And you're supposed to cut your knitting, pick up stitches. I wasn't gonna do that. I was too scared. I was too scared. So anyway, there he is. There's Frog. I'm guessing he's Frog. I'm guessing Toad is the small one. I don't really know. Also, I finished my socks. Love the yarn. And yeah, I was working on these before, and I like to dry them on the sock blockers. But they look neat even when you take them off the sock blockers. If I just spread them out and dry them on the dryer, they don't look very nice. So I just block them so I can take pictures of them and they look nice. So there's those. Got the socks done. And I'll put the information again in the description down below when I'm done. I know I've already mentioned the yarn and all that before in previous podcasts. So the next thing I finished was the Antler toque. I love it. It's easy cables. It's not for anybody in particular. It may go in my basket for either giveaways at Christmas, or it will go into Chase the Chill bucket. But I worked a little harder on this hat than I would normally work on a hat that I was giving away for charity. But Antler toque, and this was by Tin Can Knits. Most people know or have seen her patterns, and a lot of them are free, or maybe they're all free. I don't know. There's a sweater in all the sizes, I believe. And what else? There's several things. Is there a mitten? Like, I don't know. I don't remember now. But it's very fun. And this is knit out of the Respun by Lion Brand. This was a rip because I thought I couldn't get the yarn anymore. And yeah, I was going to make a blanket, but it was going to take a lot of yarn that I was scared I was going to run out of. So I decided to rip that out and just make hats. But I do have so much of this yarn that I'm going to maybe knit my great-grandson a sweater. So I might do that with some of it. And more hats, of course. Okay, then I got off on a tangent. I thought I needed to knit myself a cowl for my trip, because I think in Scotland and Ireland, even in August, I believe it gets cool. Maybe especially at night, it gets cool, and it's usually rainy. I don't want to be cold, but I also want to be stylish. So it's a bandana cowl, and this is pretty thin. This yarn was left over from a sweater I test knit, and I want to say Cafe Creations dyed this yarn, and it's so lightweight. It's gonna just curl. I don't particularly like that. But it's doing what it's supposed to. It's on my neck. It's very soft. And there it is. And it's pink. And I love it. And it'll probably go with everything. When I pack for Scotland, everything's going to match. That way I can mix and match. And I don't have to worry about different outfits. What's clean, what's dirty, what I'm going to have to wear again. And I said tangent because then I went on to knit this one, which is also so beautiful. This is Malabrigo yarn. I had one skein of it. I had done a knit along with Malabrigo and I won some skeins of yarn, and this is one of them. And I believe this is called Solace. So thanks to South Paul Woolery in Canada, she told me that that's what this yarn probably was because I lost the tag. So I think it's called Solace. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's a little bit heavier. It was a little bit heavier yarn. So I believe, yeah, it lays down a lot. It's also bigger and it lays down nice. So that'd be a nice one too. So also keeping this one for myself because I love the colors. Love it. Can't buy that at Walmart. And then because I had my husband try that on so I could take a picture. He's such a good sport. And I'm like, I bet you wish you had one. He goes, maybe I do. So I knit him one. So I got a husband-sized. This is just worsted weight, but you can still see it came out a bigger size. This is called the Bandanna Cowl, and it's one skein project. It's from Purl Soho, also free. So there you go. Those bandana cowls that I spent a week on. Just wonderful. I love it. I love it. Oh. Let's see. Any more FOs? I don't think so. Okay, so last episode, I started a scrappy sweater, but I ripped it. I wasn't loving all the little dangly yarns that I was going to have to go back and work in later. And normally a project like that, I just work them in as I go because I get overwhelmed with all the yarns hanging there. So I ended up ripping out the scrappy sweater. And then I cast on, let's see if I can find it now, what I cast on after that. I cast on, it's a poncho. It's a scrappy poncho, but I loved it. And I still might have to knit it sometime. If I can find it, there it is. It is called Poncho Mashin. I can't tell you, but it's by Crocodile. Let me show you a picture. I got it all pulled up on my iPad. I'm just going to show backwards. But this scrappy poncho. It's a poncho with sleeves. And I really liked it. And it would have been a great scrappy project. Poncho Maschenspiel, Maschenspiel by Crocodile. Then, and was I looking at more patterns? Probably. Then I came across, no, this is what got me. I was watching a podcast, and I don't watch her on a regular basis, but I just happened to watch. I was just bored, maybe looking for something. I don't know what I was looking for. But anyway, I'm always looking for inspiration, I guess. But she had finished a kimono, and she made it, what do you call that? Mid-length between your knee and your ankle, whatever you call that. The pattern doesn't show. I mean, they only made it short, but she made it, and her name is Cheverell. Did I say that? I didn't say that. Anyway, it's this kimono, and you can't really tell much from that picture, but it's called Yarmalada, where the name is made up and the points don't matter. Designed by Krissy Abbott. So I am currently knitting that, though it's really, I'm not to a point where you can really tell what it is. I stopped knitting on it while I was doing the bandana cowls, but it's this far along. But it's gonna be, it's knit in 3 pieces. This is the back, and this is where I ended off last night. And then, well, this is last night's knitting from here to there. And so I'm changing yarns. And I think for the most part, because front's not going to match the back, I'm just going to knit a skein of yarn, or maybe a half a skein of yarn. So we'll have enough for the front, though it's still probably not going to match. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But some yarns I have saved out are, this is, oh, the tags are in here. I don't want to have to take all the tags out. This is a Malabrigo sock yarn called Potion, or Potion, don't even know. That's Malabrigo. This is Rainbow Beach. It's a Queensland collection, Australian superwash wool. It is called Rainstorm. So there's that. That's going to go in there. Oh, the lighting's not good in here. It's partly cloudy here today. And here's a nice little speckle. Some of these yarns I had gotten as a single lot. This is called Bako or Bako. It's a sock yarn. B-A-C-O. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. That's a lovely, lovely speckled yarn. And also another Malabrigo, which this might have been the single lot. No, it's Viola. And it's Machida. Machida. I got it as a well, what do you call that? I got a package of 1 each of, and they were all called something like viola, violin, I don't know, stringed instruments. I can't remember what all they were. And this also is a Malabrigo yarn. They left over from a sweater, maybe. This is a single lot of Malabrigo. And this also Malabrigo, this blue, it's like indigo blue. It's tonal. If I think real hard, I could think of the name of it, but I can't right now. And this one is a Plymouth yarn, Happy Feet. It is called, oh, it's just a color number, 120. So that is kind of a gray. It's kind of a tonal. I see some bits of green or something dark in there. So those are all going to go into my kimono. Let's see, other whips. Or I should call this a rip, like rest in peace, not rip out. The bunny I was trying to get done. We had a joke about this one in my family. These are the arms. This is the body. I got the legs. and I started the head, and I haven't gotten any further. I've been kind of having trouble with my hands. If I'm knitting too tiny, my hands used to love the tiny knitting, but anymore they're just getting stiff. I know, probably Uncle Arthur has come to visit. I don't know, but my fingers are just, yeah, they've about had it, I think. I was going to show you a picture of the little bunny, which is adorable. There's the bunny. Very cute little bunny. So tiny. So tiny and sweet. That was going to be for Charlotte, my great-granddaughter. But I have not, I just can't make myself work on it. If you had those. And then I'm not even going to show you the Copenhagen. I just started it. The Copenhagen blanket, which is a bunch of buildings. Make them different. This will be my 4th building block, and I believe my granddaughter has knit. I think she's at least finished one. So it's going to be an ongoing, because I haven't worked on that for a long time either, while I've been playing with other things. Let's see, what else have I got down here? Oh, what is this? This is, and I make my own bags. I've had this. This was a project I had before. Let me see if I can go find a picture of it. I think the sweater name is called Emery, and Emery. I loved it because of the colors. And I was knitting it and she was just a few months old. Well, just after she was born sometime. Anyway, I didn't get very far on it. And now I'm like, what's the point? But mostly it's the colors I was in love with. So here are the colors that I came up with. These are Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby, which I don't normally like their yarns, but I really enjoyed the colors. It's usually the colors that kind of attract me to something. So I don't know if that's going to be a rip or not. Maybe I'll go ahead and work on it some. It's a little project. And it had a matching hat to go with it too. So, and a blanket, which I don't think I'll make. I already made her like 3 or 4 blankets, so I don't think I'll be making any more blankets on that. But it was a sweet little sweater with the colors, and I think that was a free pattern for a little while. I don't think it's free anymore. And then of course I have my ongoing blankets, my Cozy Memory, which I might have knit one more square since I first showed it, and my temperature blanket, which it's growing. It's 4 months into it, so it's getting pretty long, but I won't show it this time. Maybe next time, because I am making progress on it very, very slowly. And then this was also a rip, but let me find that pattern. I wanted to knit a tee. I've had this Zoe, Zooey, from Juniper Moon Farm, and I had like 3 skeins of this. It's got quite a bit on it. It's got 284 yards. So this was a rip. I tried to make a poncho out of it, but I was running out of yarn, so I ripped that out. And anyway, so I found a sweater or a t-shirt that I thought would look good with the yarn, but after starting it, I had a little bit of trouble, but it is called, what's the name of it? Oh, lost it. SIW by Kristen Blom. I have no idea what SIW stands for, but there's the t-shirt. Very, very flowy kind of it looks. I don't want anything fitting. I'm not particularly fond of the lower half of my body. Nothing needs to be fitted. That's why I didn't show you my split hem on this t-shirt. But it was tricky, and so I had to rip it out. You start out by knitting an I-cord, and then you pick up stitches for the neckline. And on the smooth yarn, it looks very nice, but this yarn is not smooth. I mean, it's very kind of rustic, loosely spun, and so it just looks sloppy when you make it. So now I'm like, what do I do? And it also has some lace work on the sleeves. So I don't know. Maybe I'll skip the lace work and just knit it plain. That's all I really want. So I may start that again, or maybe find another t-shirt to work on. But this linen is soft. It is soft. It looks like a gunny sack, but it's it's really a lovely soft yarn. So stay tuned for that one. There was another sweater I wanted to maybe start. It's called Des Chain by Leela Raven, using linen. I don't think I have that one uploaded to my, my Knit Companion. This is where all my patterns are showing from, Knit Companion. If you're a knitter or work from charts a lot, Knit Companion is the best. You've got row counters and and highlighter bars, and it just totally can keep track of what you're doing and where you are. So it's a great tool. So that's it. That's it for the knitting, I believe. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about, because I've been watching some podcasts this month. I've been watching My Wonderful Knitting Life. I want to shout out to her. She left my first comment, which meant a lot to me. I mean, I like to know that people are out there, maybe enjoying, not enjoying, just, I mean, I'm bearing my soul to you, and I don't know to who. So, but I think her name is Margaret, and she left a nice little comment on my first one. So thank you for that, Margaret. And I've been watching The Knitting Posse, which it's 3 women now, but they started out as 4 women. They're from back east somewhere, Connecticut maybe. And I love the chatter of the 4 women. Those are the kind of podcasts I tend to like more, because it's like you're in a knit group or something when you pull out a project and you listening to them chatter. And with 4 women, they've got quite a few projects to show, and I think that's what I look for in a good podcast, is lots of projects, because I got to get my that's where I get my inspiration, I guess. So, and then of course Chevy Rell. So anyway, I hope in some way my little podcast is in some way inspirational to you, to anybody. I learned to knit when I was very young. I can't remember if I talked about this in the first one or not, but very young, my mom wanted to learn to knit, so we went to the store and got some needles and some yarn and brought it home. And as she learned, I learned. And though I don't remember knitting anything for years, But for sure, after I got married and had my first child, I really wanted to knit for my baby girl. So I knitted. I have a picture of her somewhere in a knitted little bib overall dress. Anyway, it was just fun to knit, and I knit some stuff for myself. If I ever come up with those pictures, I'll show them on here. Some of my first projects. Some of them were kind of ambitious. But back then, the only place to get patterns was magazines that I knew of. You know, those little magazines they used to publish, like Better Homes and Gardens, or I don't remember. I think I have one, maybe it's called Knits, but that didn't come out till later. But back then, and I remember a very big magazine that had all kinds of crafts in it. It might have had a knitting project, a crochet project, maybe some needlepoint, maybe some quilting or sewing. They had lots of different crafts, like nature crafts, stuff we would do in maybe Bible school or I don't know, someplace that you do crafts. Anyway, so there's that. Let's see. Let me look at my notes. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit too about some patterns I bought. This Krissy Abbott, where I bought the Yarmalada kimono. She has what you call pay what you can discount. And I think that's lovely. She's like, everybody should be able to afford to do a project, buy a pattern, and knit it. And so she has a pay what you can discount, which, you know, and I can't remember, that is a discount. And I've bought 2 patterns now that way. And because I'm on Social Security and I have to keep my costs down, I got 20% off my patterns. So, and I think that's awesome. So thank you, Krissy Abbott, for sure. Yeah, I certainly appreciate all the designers that put out these patterns, and which inspire us to learn more, do more, be creative, so on and so forth. So anyway, so thank you so much, Krissy. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, like I said, hope this helped enable you to do some knitting, finish some objects. You know, I was in a terrible knitting rut when I started these podcasts, and I'm actually finishing things now and maybe getting some more inspiration for things. Of course, when I watch knitting podcasts, I do get inspired and want to knit more, and will want to knit what they are knitting. So anyway, it has helped my knitting mojo. I'm getting some stuff done, which is great. But sad to say, the projects I'm working on, they're long-term projects. The blankets, that kimono, it's going to take me till the year 3025 to get done. Yeah, so, and in other news, I saw my first hummingbird this morning. So I'm excited my hummingbirds have arrived. Anybody else bird watching? You know, since I'm retired, I feel like that's this quilt, this what do you call it? Quilt art on my wall was knitted for me. Was it knitted? It was quilted. It was quilted. Well, Dari Trout gave this to me. She was a longtime knitter friend in my shop. When we started a knitting group, she was the first one. We kind of started it together. She would show up at the shop and sometimes bring her sister, and it kind of grew from there. But anyway, her sister Dana is a a mad woman when it comes to quilting. And so anyway, they made that sheet for me, and I had it hanging in my yarn shop, and now it's hanging in my room. I don't know what you call my room. It's my she shed, because all my quilting, knitting, I do have a loom back there that you can't see, but someday I'll work on that. Anyway, okay, my lovelies, I love you all. Thanks for listening. Hope I wasn't too boring. And yeah, love you.